Okay, so Neuvillette and Kazuha official banner is here, guys. As usual, it is going to be some of the important things we want to discuss on the banner so that you are able to make sure you are making the right decision before you go ahead and pull on this banner, because I know that many of you are going to be deciding on this banner because yes, Neuvillette and Kazuha are both like top tier characters, so most of you are going to be saving your premium gems at this point in time. But yeah, there are some things that it's better for you to consider first, especially when it comes to 4.6 banners predictions and some character reruns on those kind of patch. Then those are going to be some important considerations as well, which is obviously the things that we're going to be discussing in this video. But before we jump into the video, guys, I just want to thank today's video sponsor, Tokyo Treats and Sakura Co. So Tokyo Treats and Sakura Co are Japanese subscription box services that offer snacks all the way from Japan right to your doorsteps. All their boxes contains a cultural guides booklet that tells you everything you need to know about what's inside the box, as well as the information about the snack's history, origins, ingredients, and other fun facts. So for Tokyo Treats, who's a monthly pop Japanese snack subscription box, you will get up to 20 of the latest exclusive limited edition and seasonal flavored Japanese snacks that are only available in Japan for a limited term. Now, it wouldn't be a Tokyo Treat box if there weren't a unique Kit Kat package, and this time around we get to experience a matcha Kit Kat pack. So yes, if you are in love with matcha, you are in for a treat, because my oh my, this thing is absolutely delicious. And also, if you're in love with strawberry, guys, then you're not going to be missing out on our lovely strawberry cream column. It's a crispy wafer on the outside with the sweet strawberry cream on the inside for you to enjoy a whole sweetness of the strawberry flavor. There's also the Sakura leaf Sanbei cracker, guys, even though it was a little bit broken during shipping, but that did not stop me from enjoying this delicious flavory cracker flavored with shrimp and sakura leaf. Absolutely delicious, guys. You definitely want to experience this flavor for yourself. And for those of you who enjoys gummy, there's our Makin gummy grape. That's definitely chewy and full of great flavor for you to enjoy as well. Now, Sakura Co is a monthly authentic Japanese snack subscription box. Sakura Co is supporting local Japanese snack maker. Each box comes with at least 20 traditional, authentic, and artisan Japanese snacks, including Japanese teas and special Japanese tableware. First off in the package, you would definitely want to try out the Kinako Senbei. For at first, guys, I actually did not expect this to be the flavor it actually is, because I was kind of expecting it to be salty. However, it's actually coated in a delicate blend of kuromitsu, Japanese sugar syrup, and kinako powder, so it is very flavory and more to the sweetness side. Next, you would definitely want to try out the strawberry caramel okashi. But wow, especially for someone who is in love with strawberry like me, it is such a delightful taste. And on the topic of strawberry, guys, definitely you would love to try out our Sakura Mochi. It is lightly sprinkled with iridescent powder, making it glistens a little bit in the light. And you also wouldn't want to miss out on the Sakura Arara Tetra, a perfect snack for you to be enjoying alongside with the tea that comes in the Sakura Co box. And then as usual, for every Sakura Co box, there usually comes a table dining ware, and this time around it's actually a cute Neko Sakura dish, guys. This charming dish is a collaboration between Sakura Co, Mary Laugh, and Bloom, meticulously designed and crafted by our skilled Japanese artisans. I really love the design with this cute little cat on it, and an absolutely perfect addition to all of the previous Sakura Co dining ware that they have sent me, which I really enjoy. Thank you so much Tokyo Treat and Sakura Co for sponsoring this video. Now, they gave me a coupon code to share with you all, so you can experience these snacks for yourself. For more information, guys, check my description box as my pinned comment to get access to the link with the coupon code. Now I know that Neuvillette and obviously Kazuha are coming back, and some of you are probably going to be trying to pull. So I'm pretty sure most of you have already got Neuvillette. Look, my Neuvillette's not even on. This is like a freaking free-to-play Neuvillette, right? And I'm already on this level, and he clears all of my abyss. So first of all, we already know how powerful Neuvillette actually is. This guy is insane, because he uses one of the free-to-play weapon that it has very little use in the game. Obviously, this weapon is very good, and if you want to use it, you can. But in terms of practical use, most of the time you're not going to be using it on any of the character unless you're feeling like you're lacking in healer. Neuvillette gets to make use of this weapon to its full capacity. Having this weapon especially, you would never actually need a healer on his team, because he's just going to self-sustain himself and he ain't ever gonna die. So that's the power of Neuvillette, not to mention how powerful he is. So I don't think I have to discuss much about Neuvillette. He's insane. If you're lacking in hyper carry, guys, man, just go ahead and pull for him. I don't think any character is going to be, you know, beating Neuvillette in any time soon. So dude, like just pull for him and then you're going to be all set for most of the content in the game. Let's see some of the team builder he has right now. I think the main teams that I usually go ahead and use him on, either Hyper Bloom or, you know, just gonna go ahead and, you know, Electro Charge, right? For me personally, I have Yai Miko on that, and then, you know, just go ahead and Kazuha. If you don't have a powerful Yai Miko, because I do have a C4 Yai Miko, that's why I have it on him. Otherwise, you know, official, there you go, done. If you want, you know, a little bit more healing, Kuki Shinobu, I think that's fine too. But Fisher is going to be the better option here. But overall, these are currently some of the best teams, you know, only 2 teams. And most of them are free to play too, right? Like, as you can see. Obviously, if you don't have Furina, which I actually recommend you guys to actually have Furina on his team. Furina is just so powerful. Why would you want to have Furina on your account, right? So pull for Neuvillette and Furina if you haven't already. That's it for Neuvillette, I would say. Dude, he's just so powerful. But the main thing is going to be Kazuha. Now, I know that Kazuha has been a very powerful character since the start, and I think you guys still has the impression of him like that until now. And yes, he's still a pretty much powerful character, and he still does everything that he basically can do ever since. There's pretty much no changes to him, like, you know, artifact stats, weapons, you know, free-to-play weapons, all those kind of things, right? C2, Kazuha, very, very powerful if you actually have him, changes a lot. However, if you haven't got Kazuha and you're trying to pull for him at C0, I think you guys need a little bit of consideration on that. Now, if you look at it, things have changed a lot in terms of team building, and many characters have already come, making it, you know, the role of each different character is going to be slightly different, as well as, you know, sub DPS role is going to be a lot more competitive at this point in time, and that mainly goes toward, you know, Furina. Man, this girl is so good that she is taking the slot of Kazuha teams most of the time. Because if you look at it, actually guys, if you really look into it, Kazuha teams, specific Kazuha teams that really requires Kazuha, that's very limited. Like, as you can see, right? Melt Ganyu wants Kazuha, that's 1. Child International would love to have Kazuha, so that's 2. Third one is going to be Ayaka Freeze. However, if you want to have Kazuha on, then you must have a team like this. And then, you know, you're gonna be, you know, taking Furina out of that team. Plus, you need Kokomi. And, you know, well, the thing is that Ayaka Freeze has already pretty much died in terms of competitiveness. You know, Cryo we don't usually use nowadays, which is kind of sad. So that's a huge thing about that. So basically, this team is almost non-using for Kazuha, and most of the time, Furina is going to be here for Ayaka Freeze. This is the specific team that is slightly more powerful nowadays for Ayaka Freeze. So, you know, that's only 3rd team, right? And then another team is going to be, you know, Mono Hydro, right? Mono Hydro, very expensive team, very powerful team too, if you do have it, but that's the only basically 4 team that Kazuha would love to have, and is, you know, technically required for you to have Kazuha. Other than that, any other team that would have Kazuha on, Furina is going to be replacing him, right? Like, you know, for example, Navia, obviously, right? You can't have Kazuha on Navia team, right? So you need Furina for your Navia to do good. Xiao, Kazuha ain't ever going to be on, right? So Xiao needs Furina. Hyper Bloom, right? Kazuha almost never is going to be on any kind of Hyper Bloom team. Unless you want to have more attacking power for your Electro character, Kazuha ain't going to be here, right? So, for example, we don't use a team like this. If you want, you can try, but we don't use a team like this, right? So, it's Furina is going to be a lot more important nowadays whenever you're trying to pull for Kazuha. So that's kind of like a huge replacement. Either way, I would say that he's more of like a preference character if you really want Kazuha. But man, I haven't been using him for actually quite a long time. Like especially ever since Furina came out, I actually almost never used Kazuha. So it's a huge consideration on your part if you're deciding to pull for Kazuha. However, if you are pulling for a C2, then yeah, he's still going to be having value, right? 200 EM is very huge. So C2 Kazuha is slightly a little bit different, and it's going to be more competitive toward your Furina if you're not investing into her. But man, if you have Furina on, you know, her weapon, or, you know, Constellation on Furina, you're probably not ever going to be using Kazuha again. That's the thing, right? So kind of like a nerf onto him. However, as I've said, everything that he does, he's still going to do well if you really like to. So that's going to be the thing about Kazuha. So this is the banner. Now, last time, this banner, I'm quite surprised, right? because dude, Xingqiu and Barbara is actually back. If you want, Barbara can be on Neuvillette's team, and yeah, Xingqiu is here for Kazuha, right, for Kazuha team. And Xingqiu was, I believe Xingqiu was here on last Neuvillette banner, so that was actually quite like they are making a huge exception for the good 4-star character to actually come back, just so that, you know, we continue to pull on this specific banner, which is, I think, is a generous thing to do on Hoyover's side. I mean, they could have just put in, you know, Layla or Kaveh, which is going to be a very bad thing for a 4-star banner, especially on a rerun banner. They could have done that, but they you know, instead put in Xingqiu, which is a pretty good thing. And yeah, Yanfei is still pretty good character if you have her constellations. She does need a little bit of investment if you want her to do very well, but overall I think Yanfei playstyle is very fun. Man, we've already got most of this character on C6. But if you haven't got, you know, Xingqiu on C6, yep, definitely a pretty good thing for you to do. Now, weapon banner, actually not that bad, right? Because, you know, Freedom Sworn, I would say that's one of the better supports, you know, sword weapons you have in the game. So if you actually lose to a Freedom Sworn, that's not going to be too bad. 4-star weapon though is actually quite not that good. Apart from Favonius Lance, I don't think you're using any of the other weapon here on the 4-star banner. So guys, unless you're guaranteed for the 5-star weapon that you're trying to go, it's not going to be a good weapon banner for you to try and start. Yeah, 5-star weapons are really good, but unless you are okay with getting Fisher's Bow, which is also not her BIS option, getting the Wine and Song, which we almost never use, you're not ever going to be using most of this weapon. So unless you're okay with that, then be my guest. Go ahead and pull for it. I really wish you good luck if you are pulling for the weapon banner. Overall, 5-star weapons are actually pretty nice. In terms of this, there's another thing I want to discuss as well. It's going to be the future banner. Obviously, we don't know the official banner yet, but there has been saying that the rerun characters are gonna be Lenny. That's the first one, which actually makes sense because Lenny hasn't had its rerun yet. Wanderer and Baiju. Alright, so regarding Lenny, he's very good. He's one of the top tier character, guys, especially in even on single target and AoE situation. If you use his E skill correctly, you're nuking everything with his E skill. But obviously a little bit competitive because Alexino's right next to Lenny if he actually comes back, right? So it's going to be your decision to whether or not pull for Lenny. But the thing is that Lenny is actually so powerful that he is going to be competitive alongside with Alexino. In terms of if you're feeling that you're lacking a hyper carry, sometimes Lenny is actually going to be more powerful than Hu Tao in certain situation because he's just that good. He's able to take out whole floor of the abyss in less than 10 seconds if you are investing into him correctly. Right, this dude is just insane. That's the thing with Lenny though. Right, so he has a hyper carry. So once again, it's going to be your choice to pull, but overall I just want to put it out there that he's just so good that it's worth a consideration on your part. A little bit hard to play him though because obviously he's a bow charger and you do need to learn in terms of, you know, E skill nuking and stuff like that, but overall if you use him correctly, he's very powerful. Baiju, I don't know why, if he is going to be appearing back in patch 4.6, I don't know why they are having his rerun this early. Like Furina hasn't even got her rerun, right? And Furina and Baiju is like next to each other. So I don't know why they actually decided to do this. It feels like Baiju banner wasn't doing well, and so once again they're trying to have Baiju back on in terms of rerun banners as much as he can. But overall, Baiju's actually pretty good, so it's not that bad if you have a rerun banner of Baiju again. Overall, you know, he fits in most of the team comp, very important because he has access to whole team healing, and so very fitting for Furina on the same team. So that's a good thing about Baiju personally. I don't have Baiju, so I actually really kind of want to have him, but I'm probably not going to pull for him because, dude, there's so many new characters that are coming. Wanderer, well, you know Wanderer is, right? Obviously, Farazan is a must-have on Wanderer's team. Very powerful character, you know, alongside with Xiao as well, you know, one of the few Anemo hyper carry we have in the game. So at the end of the day, preference wise, it's going to be your choice. I think that most of us are going to be trying to pull for Alexino, or, you know, saving for other character that you haven't already got, or, you know, new character that's going to be coming in patch 4.7. So yeah, that's the thing. I think that's all for the current consideration.